Connecticut Sun forward Alyssa Thomas and Indiana Fever coach Christy Sides both called for the abusive comments toward W players to stop during their respective post-game news conferences following Game 2 on Wednesday night. Thomas went as far as to ask the league to step in to do something about the behavior.
The WNBA is under fire. Alyssa Thomas has just been suspended for a racially charged attack on Rookie of the Year Caitlin Clark, and the entire league is reeling. How did a simple playoff game ignite one of the most shocking controversies in women's basketball history? In this explosive breakdown, we're diving deep into the drama, dissecting every twist and turn, and trust me, it's about to get wild. But before we get into the juicy details, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss the chaos coming your way. It all went down in a high-stakes playoff matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun. The pressure was on, but no one expected what came next. Alyssa Thomas, a WNBA veteran known for her grit, allegedly launched a deliberate and racially motivated assault on Caitlin Clark, the league's rising star. During a heated exchange on the court, Thomas made an aggressive move toward Clark, which fans and players alike were quick to label as racially charged. The incident shook the WNBA to its core, sparking outrage from both sides. But here's where things get even spicier. Instead of apologizing or addressing her aggressive play, Thomas went on a post-game tirade, accusing Clark's fan base of being racist.
In my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base. We had her face on a serious matter that happened in this world, and it's unacceptable, honestly. And there's no place for it, and we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it. And basketball is headed in a great direction, but nah, we don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us racial names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world and what we have to deal with in that aspect. And we come to play basketball for our job, and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's them checking their fans or this league checking. There's no time for it anymore.
That's right. She shifted the narrative completely, deflecting attention away from her on-court actions and pointing the finger directly at the fans. Was this a strategic move to dodge the heat, or was there truth to her claims? It didn't take long for other WNBA players to get involved. Angel Reese, who had her own history with Clark, quickly jumped to Thomas's defense. "I've seen what these fans say online," Reese said in an interview. "The hate we get, especially as black athletes, is unreal." Alyssa was right to call it out. But not everyone was buying it. Veteran player Diana Taurasi wasn't afraid to stir the pot. "Look, I've played against Clark and Thomas. This isn't about race, it's about jealousy. Caitlin's been taking over the spotlight and some people can't handle it," she remarked during a press conference. "We've all faced online hate, but this feels like a desperate attempt to shift focus." Taurasi's comments fanned the flames, adding fuel to the already raging fire. The league, already in damage control mode, now had to deal with a growing divide among its players. Was this a legitimate racial issue, or were some players using the controversy to settle personal scores? As if the drama wasn't enough, whispers started circulating that the WNBA itself had a hand in creating this mess.
It could have been somebody from Connecticut pretending to be an Indiana Fever fan, or someone from Connecticut who doesn't like you because you're a whiny victim 24/7 with whatever these black feminists say and all their victimhood and whining.
Critics began to question whether the league had been favoring Caitlin Clark from the start. One anonymous player, who refused to go on record, told reporters, "The league has been building Clark up as the next big thing, but what about the rest of us? It feels like they've already chosen their golden child, and the rest of us are just background players." This sentiment resonated with some of the league's more established stars, including Thomas. In a separate interview, she said, "We've all worked hard to get here, but suddenly it's all about Caitlin. The media's obsessed with her, and it's like no one else even exists. I'm not saying the fans are right, but there's a reason so many people are frustrated." These accusations put the WNBA in a tough spot. Has the league been unfairly promoting Caitlin Clark at the expense of its veteran players? Or is this just sour grapes from those who feel overshadowed? Either way, the controversy was far from over. As the media frenzy continued, Alyssa Thomas found herself painted as the villain in this unfolding drama. Critics accused her of using race as a shield to deflect from her own poor performance. After all, the incident occurred just after the Connecticut Sun were eliminated from the playoffs. Was this a last-ditch effort to distract from her team's failure? One fan tweeted, "This is classic deflection. Alyssa lost the game, so now she's playing the victim. Why hasn't she produced a single shred of evidence to back up her claims about racist fans?" Meanwhile, Clark's supporters rallied behind her, calling out Thomas for using the race card to cover up her own inadequacies. Clark worked her way to the top, and now people like Thomas can't stand it. One fan wrote on Instagram, "It's pathetic." But Thomas wasn't backing down. She doubled down on her accusations, claiming that the racial abuse she experienced during the playoffs was just the tip of the iceberg. "I've been dealing with this for years," Thomas said in an exclusive interview. "The WNBA is supposed to be a safe space, but it's clear that we've got a long way to go."
These other players, and reportedly, it's a race thing, that many black women inside the WNBA are resentful that this white woman came in and is getting all this attention. Nobody disputes that she's an amazing basketball player.
Interestingly, through all the chaos, Caitlin Clark remained silent. No interviews, no tweets, nothing. While some praised her for taking the high road, others criticized her silence as avoidance. "Clark is letting everyone else do the talking for her," one sports analyst said. "But at some point she's going to have to address this. Her silence only makes things worse." Angel Reese, who had previously supported Thomas, wasn't shy about calling Clark out. "If you're going to be the face of the league, you can't stay silent when things get tough. Where's Caitlin in all of this?" she asked during a post-game interview. "People are defending her, but she hasn't even said a word. It's weak." This added a new layer to the controversy. Is Clark avoiding the issue to maintain her squeaky clean image, or is she simply choosing to stay out of the fray? Whatever the reason, her silence was deafening. The incident between Thomas and Clark exposed a deeper, more troubling issue within the WNBA, the growing divide between veteran players and the league's rising stars. Many older players feel sidelined as the WNBA focuses its marketing and media attention on younger talent like Clark. Alyssa Thomas, Angel Reese, and others have voiced frustrations that the league is pushing them aside in favor of more marketable players. "We've put in the work, but now it's like we don't matter," Thomas said. "It's all about the next big thing, but we're still here, and we're not going anywhere." Some players have even hinted at deeper racial tensions within the league, suggesting that the WNBA is more interested in promoting white players like Clark, while black athletes are left to fend for themselves. "It's not a coincidence that Caitlin is getting all this attention," an anonymous player said. "The league knows what sells, and right now, it's not us." The WNBA released a carefully worded statement in the wake of the scandal, condemning all forms of racism and announcing an internal investigation. But many felt the league's response was too little, too late. Fans and players alike demanded more than just lip service. "The WNBA needs to take real action," Taurasi said. "This isn't just about Alyssa and Caitlin anymore. This is about how the league handles serious issues like race and player safety. They can't just sweep this under the rug." Meanwhile, Thomas's suspension sparked further outrage, with some claiming it was a knee-jerk reaction meant to appease the public. "They suspended Alyssa without a thorough investigation," Angel Reese argued. "That's not justice, that's damage control." As the dust begins to settle, everyone's wondering, what's next? Will Alyssa Thomas's reputation ever recover? Will Caitlin Clark finally break her silence? And what about the WNBA? Can the league survive this scandal without losing its credibility? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. This controversy isn't going away anytime soon. The WNBA is at a crossroads, and how it handles this situation could determine the future of women's basketball. And there you have it, one of the most explosive controversies in WNBA history. Do you think Alyssa Thomas was right to call out Clark's fans, or is this just a distraction from her own failings? And why hasn't Caitlin Clark said anything yet? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more spicy takes on the latest sports drama. This is far from over, and we'll be here every step of the way.